Showtime.
For the big screen mainstream actors today.
Well, so Doug, here's a question. How can you tell the difference between a girl and a female?
Welcome to the Tech School Podcast, powered by DSDT. I'm Josh.
And I am Carlos.
He's Carlos today. How's it going, Carlos?
I'm not going to start complaining.
No, do not complain. Do not complain. Please, do not. There we go.
But since you asked,
Since you insisted.
I have got to propose something to the audience today.
Go for it.
And, I didn't even prep you with this.
You never do.
Right? So I had something jump off on yesterday, and it literally has me baffled. And I'm wondering whether you have a spin on it or an understanding of it, because I'll be 50 this year. Right?
Okay.
I'll be 50 in November.
Blessings.
Right. So I've never heard of this. Never heard of it. It was a thing, took me aback, and I'm still working on it. True story. And you guys know I always tell the truth, right? So, on my way home last evening, I stopped at a department store. A Family Dollar. I'm going to say it. I stopped at a Family Dollar store.
They're very convenient.
Right.
Very convenient.
On my way home.
Yes.
Right? And to get the little things that I need.
You don't feel like going to a big grocery store all the time, or a Meijer or a Target. A Family Dollar typically has that little thing or two in, out.
Listen to him now.
Okay.
Now, anybody who lives downtown Detroit know there is no Myers, there's no Walmart, there's none of that. There's a Family Dollar.
You have a mini Meijer at best on Jefferson and a Whole Foods, but nevertheless.
You have a Dollar General.
Yes.
You have a Dollar Store, and you have a Family Dollar, who, by the way, is owned by Dollar Store.
Yes.
Which I didn't know that until who would have thought? Anyways, let me tell a story.
All right, I'm shutting up now.
So I go into the store to make my purchase. I want to get some electrical tape because I'm tinkering around the house. Know I'm on my way to do it. I'm going to be doing some great things this evening. And, of course, I got to get the mouthwash. Got to have the mouthwash anytime you stop at Family Dollar. It just is a thing for me. Anyways, I get to the register. Now, there's a line behind me. There has to be at least 6 people behind me. The line is kind of big, right? And as I'm standing at the register, my bill comes up to about $26 and some change. Don't remember what the change was. It is what it is. And as I'm standing there, I'm thinking to myself, I'm about to say this too. I'm thinking to myself, do I want to pay $40 or do I want to try to fish the exact price out of my pocket? Now remember, I've told you guys before, my wife always tells me, do not walk around with a pocket full of cash.
No.
And if you guys remember, do I listen to my wife? No. No. So again, I got a pocket full of cash, right? And so as I'm standing there and I'm thinking, and I'm in my head, I pull out the $40.
Okay.
So I pull out the $40, I give it to the cashier, and as the cashier is ringing me up or closing me out, I'm also thinking, well, maybe I got the exact change in my pocket. So I'm digging past the bills in my pocket, and I come out and I got 26 cents. It's like 36 cents or whatever.
All right.
This is where the story gets interesting. Pay attention. So as I'm standing there, the cashier comes back, lays the refund or lays my money on the countertop.
Okay.
I'm pulling back the bills. I start to pick at the coins. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but I'm pulling the coins up one by one. And she says to me in a grim face, maybe this will teach you next time to put it in my hand. What? I think to myself, literally, I'm sitting there with the last of my change on the countertop, And I look at her and I say, well, maybe this teaches me next time to ask you if you want it in your hand. She said, oh, no, 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 no. Maybe next time you'll know to put it in my hand. I was taken aback. And so I grabbed the last of my change, grabbed the bag that was sitting there with my items, the mouthwash and the electrical tape that I wanted.
Right.
And I started to head out of the store. And as I'm heading out of the store, Carlos, I thought I was going to get the last word. Didn't get it. I said to her, I said, no, what that actually taught me is to not come back to this store. And she went ballistic. And when I say ballistic, it was, listen, smart, blank, 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 get your blank, blank out the store. As a matter of fact, I left my bag. I didn't even realize I left the other bag. I had 2 containers of mouthwash. One was in the bag with the electrical tape, and one was in another bag.
Oh, you left the items
So
you purchased?
I'm standing between the 2 doors. She's telling me, get your blank, blank. I mean, literally cursing. When I say profanity, oh, my God. Oh, my God. She is going on 1,000. And so I turn around, and I go back to her. Listen, y'all, I know I'm getting soft. No, I'm not getting soft. I done got soft.
No, you gotten wiser.
No, maybe wiser is a good word, right? I've also dealt with a lot of trauma in my life. So I kind of understand now that it's not always what you perceive. Mm-hmm. And so I'm saying to myself in my mind, what has triggered this woman? What did I do? Mm-hmm. What was it today of this day that I happened upon her that would make her act like this? And I really am trying to rationalize it because I'm not trying to meet her 10 with my 1,000.
No.
Because I can't go there,
No.
and I didn't want to do it, right?
No.
And so
that can escalate into something very ugly. Yeah.
Yeah, we all understand that, right?
Right.
But again, this is the new Carlos. This is the reformed Carlos.
Wiser
I'm
Carlos.
here. Wiser. He keeps using the word wiser. I'll take that word.
Yeah.
And so I come back to her. She's standing there. And she's looking at me eye to eye, and I mean, she is furious. Have you ever seen a woman that was furious at you? Because I have, right?
Once or twice. I think we all have. I think we all have.
Once or twice. I'm talking about I've seen it, right?
Yeah,
It's that look. It's that look.
I think as men, we have accomplished that a few times in our life.
Even
so
if
far.
it wasn't anyone but your mama.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
or your grandmother.
Your grandmother, your mother, your lover, your sister.
And so she's standing there, and she's looking at me, and she tells me, here, take your bag, Mr. Smartass, and get your blank blank out my store. And I say, what is your name? And she says, Stacy. What's the store number here? And she tells me the store number, right? So I said, thank you, Stacy, and I walked on out the store. Do you know that literally cost me sleep last night? I could not understand what I did to that lady that would bring that type of rage, that would make her feel as though out of everybody before me or even in the line, that I was the guy today for that. And so, of course, I called other stores. I got the information relative to the situation because I wanted to make a complaint. And I am working on making a complaint because I'm going to do it. Because from where I sit, it's not about just Carlos, right? If you feel comfortable enough to do that with Carlos, and Carlos is not, I'm not the smallest, meekest guy it is, then imagine about the elderly individuals that are coming into the store and what type of service they're getting. What about those individuals who don't speak up for themselves? And so this morning I got up, and this is on my way to the school. I stopped by there again, Josh.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just saying. I stopped by there again because I want to know, what did I do? One, I wanted to make the complaint with the manager. I wanted to make the complaint, right? And so I go in to make the complaint. Mm-hmm. I'm greeted by the cashier at the register, not the lady from the night before. I asked for the manager. Okay. The lady behind the register tells me she's the manager. I say, you're the manager? She's like, no, I'm just kidding. And she calls for the manager. First I say, I'm looking for Juana, because I was told that the manager of the branch was named Juana. Okay. And lo and behold, down through the aisle comes Stacy. Stacy. So the manager's name is not Stacy. It's Juana.
Okay.
And she gave me the alias Stacy the night before, right? So I confronted Stacy, Juana, whoever the heck she was this day, and really I wanted to have a conversation, right? Because inquiring minds want to know, what did I do that you felt it was so disrespectful that would make you irate, and that you would literally use such vulgar and profane language at me in your establishment?
What was her answer?
Long story made short,
Yeah.
she said that it was rude for a patron to place money on the counter rather than placing it into the cashier's hand. Josh, I was blown away. I have never in my 50 years ever heard of a thing. I've never heard of it, but frankly, it is a thing.
I've heard of it, not as a written rule.
Right?
Just a gesture, I guess. Well, I don't even know a gesture. It's just it's kind of like open the door for a lady. It's not. You're not the scum of the earth. If you don't do it, you're not a bad person. If you don't do it, it's not. You're not wrong if you don't do it. Technically, you're not wrong if you don't open the door for a lady. You're not wrong if you don't place money in hand from hand to hand. It's your prerogative. It's just a thing, I guess some people have a preference for. Never, but not to this degree.
It was, I literally
It's
was
just a thing.
mortified.
It's like, okay, name something that annoys the heck out of you. Give me anything.
That annoys the heck out of me.
Okay, I can't stand when people just are on the phone. We're at the airport. Yo, dog, man, I was with homegirl last night, and we talked about this, and we did this. Brother, I am not trying to hear your conversation.
Happens all the time.
None
Happens
of
all the
us,
time.
none of us are trying to hear your conversation.
Happens all the time.
But I'm not going to take it upon myself to say, hey, brother,
Right.
we don't want to hear your conversation.
Well, maybe it's that one day when they catch you on the wrong day. Listen, man.
I hope that day
can
never
you chill
comes.
out? You know what I'm saying?
I would, most 99.9% of the time, I hope that 1/10 of percentage never comes
I
into
hear you.
effect.
I hear you.
But for me, I just ignore them. I walk the other way. I zone it out. But for a second, I'm like, okay. But it's not, hey, dude, can you zip it?
Right. Yeah. I think, though, for me, the confrontation came in the moment I heard, this will teach you.
That's degrading. That's condescending.
But so, I don't want to go here, but kind of taking a thought from what was told to me earlier by
This will
someone
teach
else.
you?
No. So,
You're still speaking from one adult to another.
So-
we have
so
to keep that in mind as
when I
well,
came-
whomever this cashier is.
the first thing I asked the cashier,
And I'm speaking that to her.
Right.
Like you're saying that to another adult. I'm going, this will teach you.
teach me what, right? When I came into contact with her the second time, the first thing I said to her was, do you remember me?
Mm-hmm.
She said to me, and I quote, yeah, you're the guy driving the big black truck. I could chills saying that. It wasn't that you're the guy who I spoke to last night. You're the customer from last. You're the guy driving the big black truck. In case you guys don't know or don't remember, I drive the big black Escalade. I do, right? Am I being singled out because I'm driving the big black Escalade? And did she feel some type of way because I'm in there out of my big black Escalade, placing money on the table as opposed to giving it to her in her hand? Did she feel as though I really was degrading her? Because inquiring minds want to know. Because when I look at it from that perspective, I kind of can understand why this lady went into a rage. You know? And again, this is Carlos trying to rationalize it.
Right. We're trying to meet halfway.
Right? I got to give her the benefit of a doubt. Because this lady acted literally as if I had
Okay, give me an age range.
I can tell you exactly how old she was. She's 50 years old. She was born in 1971.
Okay.
Her birthday is December 24th, I think she told me, because I recorded the second conversation. I'm just saying.
Okay, so same age. We're both full grown adults.
Adults.
Yeah.
And again, at 50 years old, I had never, ever heard this in my life. In my life.
Okay, so take us back to day 2.
So day 2 is, I'm still in the cusp of day 2. This is day 2. I literally have had this ongoing for most of the day.
Well, I mean, what was that conversation during the second encounter? Like, what developed?
Well, basically, she, at the end of it, she somewhat of apologized for using profanity and telling me to get out the store, right? But she truly and wholeheartedly felt as though I was being rude. I don't know if she thought that I was intentionally being rude, but she felt to address what she perceived as being rude. Now, mind you, as I'm standing there having a conversation with her at the front of the store, there's 3 other ladies in line about to cash out, and each one of them agree with her. Girl, can't nobody ever do that to me. You're going to put the money in my hand. Don't put it on the desk. Who you think you are? And I'm like, where am I in bizarro world? You know, I've never heard of this. I didn't think it was a thing. I definitely don't try to go out of my way to be rude. If I'm going to be rude to somebody, I guarantee you're going to know it. You will know that I'm being rude.
Again, I've known it to be a preference for people, but not a mandate. I guess my question for this lady or those women would be, if someone walked into that dollar store or walked up to you and gave you $1 million, didn't place it in your hand, but put it on the table, would you feel a certain way about that?
No,
Would you say,
I don't want it. You put it on the table.
yeah, I need to teach you something. You're going to put that $1 million in my hand.
Makes no
or we
sense.
have a problem.
It makes no sense. Ignorance is bliss. You know, but at the end of the day, I'm handling it appropriately.
Yeah.
I've reached out, to corporate because I really want to get the gist of this. I don't know the mindset of an individual who manages a store to that degree. I think that it gives another black eye to the city. Right? Because here I am, I'm headed out of the city as it is, and I'm stopping to do my shopping as well as I do my business in the city. And yet, this is what I come into contact with when I simply make a stop from A to Z. Come on now, man. Come on. And I get it. I don't want to say it this way, but I'm going to say it this way, y'all. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel at time because it's hard to get people to come back to work right now. So it's almost as if companies are settling for the less because they can't just get anybody, so they're taking everybody. And we have to stop that mentality. We have to,
We have to, but yeah, we need people to work also. But
well, if you don't like your job, then I definitely believe you should be elsewhere. Maybe you should be like in a recycle factory or somewhere where you don't have to speak to people. I'm just saying, right? But anyways.
Did you share this with your wife? Did you share it with your sister?
Of course I shared it with my wife.
So
I shared it with my sister. Of course, I've shared it with everybody but you.
Okay. So I want to hear other women's perspective. What did wifey have to say? What did sister have to say?
My wife thought definitely that she should have been fired. That she should be
fired.
that
part goes
she should be fired. She thought that it was more discriminatory towards me just because of the trucks, what she stated, because she actually heard the recording of the transaction between us the conversation between us the second time.
I'm going to go there and ask a question.
Go ahead.
Know the question I'm going to ask.
No, I don't, but I'm intriguing minds want to know.
What is the race of the cashier?
Oh, she was sister.
Sister, okay.
She was a sister.
Okay, so she's black. Okay.
Yeah, that makes no difference.
Okay, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. But there is a stereotype or prejudice. You're the one driving the big black truck. What does that mean? I drive a black truck.
You drive a big black truck.
I drive a big black truck. I do, literally.
A big black nice truck.
A big black nice truck.
There it is. So that means.
Am I a threat to anybody just because I drive a big black nice truck?
Well, I tell you this: do not go into any establishment, and when it's time to pay the bill, don't lay the money on the countertop.
Oh, because if I drive a big black nice truck and I place the money on the counter, Ooh.
Well, you're being discriminatory or you're being derogatory. And it is what it is. So
you're being disrespectful to the cashier. Yeah, it's just, again, I've said it a few times already. I've known it to be just a preference, but not a mandate.
Yeah.
That's where I stand on it.
Yeah. So I'm going to find out one way or the other, just the treatment alone towards me. I didn't appreciate it, so I'll deal with it from that angle.
Yeah, because, I mean, the other thing is what she could have done was placed your change on the counter, too, and left it at that.
But that's what she, right? That's what she did now.
Okay, but now we're going too far when you say to another adult, that will teach you. This will teach you.
You're asking for whatever comes after that.
Yeah, because you speak to your child that way.
Yeah.
You don't speak to another adult that way.
Come on. Now, you asked now.
This will teach you. I don't mean to hurt your feelings. Things like that are condescending from one adult to the other.
Yeah, absolutely. And it opens up a door you may not want to walk through.
Yeah, it definitely opens up a can of worms. Absolutely.
And my sister, in her words, my sister, I got four sisters in case you guys don't know, and I'm the oldest. So the one beneath me, I was talking with her about what happened yesterday. She said, Carlos, you should have went back in there and whooped her.
Oh, no. Thank goodness you did not do that. Thank goodness.
You should have went in there and whooped her.
No, because...
But that's my sister.
Yeah.
That's my sister. My sister does not want to see her brother being treated in such a harsh way, no different than anybody else wants their loved ones.
Of course.
Way too much. And at times, I get it. Wisdom has taught me that I need to mellow out and try to understand the circumstances for what they are. It's not always what my perspective is.
Here's what I think you could have done. She makes that condescending remark because it was condescending.
Mm-hmm.
No way to get around it. You could have just simply shook your head and
I could have.
And that's a nonverbal response to let her know what she said doesn't even faze you.
Yeah.
And so she kind of made a fool of herself by going that route.
Yeah. Now, that's one aspect of what I could have done, right? Yeah. And the other aspect is I could have jumped over that counter and ripped her hair off.
You could have, and then you're on surveillance video, jumping over the counter, pulling her hair out, or whatever the case may be.
Listen,
now police are looking for
Listen, I just want you guys to know, understand this right now. I'm going to be the first one to tell you, in case then nobody else tell you, I'm working on me. I am working on me, and I know you've already arrived and you got it together and you guys are doing fantastic things. But as for Carlos at this point in his life, I'm working on me. So there are certain times when I falter. This wasn't one of them. No. I feel as though I walked away unscathed. I didn't cause the drama. It was a teachable moment for me and the person involved. But at the end of the day, there may come a time when I resort back to the old thinking. I'm trying not to. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
We all get that way. We all get that way.
But it's days when you're tested, and it's like, I'm not going to give anybody an excuse. I'm about to cash this check today, and I haven't reached there in great sometimes. But I don't understand the mindset of people. They never, ever fail to surprise me. And I'm just saying. So, but anyway, we want to move right on along because it's been a while.
Yeah, let's talk about what's going on here at DSDT this week. We've given a life lesson, which is a little unorthodox for our podcast. But, hey, whenever it calls, it calls.
It does, man.
Yeah.
We need to have these conversations because if I don't know, I'm sure there's a lot of people outside of the sound of my voice that don't know as well, right? You have never heard the fact that when you are dealing with a server, a waitress, waiter, or whatever, that you ought to put the money, whether it be the cash or whether it be the card, you should put it in their hand. Now, mind you, true to form, the person wasn't standing there with their hand out. Had she been standing with her hand out, I would have gave it to her in her hand.
Okay.
Didn't think twice about it. Because, again, I don't go out of my way to be exceptionally rude. And so, but it was definitely a learning lesson for me, and I'll always carry it, and I'll think about it the next time that I come into contact with people.
Yeah, and fine. Okay, you'll be more mindful to, hey, money hand to hand.
Give money hand to hand.
Give money hand to
But
hand.
how does that work in a post-COVID world? You know, post-COVID.
Yeah.
That was a time when you'd stand at the register at Kroger's and there was a big plexiglass between you and the individual, and wasn't nobody touching nothing. You know, COVID is still rampant amongst us. So does that mean that there's still a hidden rule, unspoken rule among cashiers that they would much rather have the money in their hands? You know, and stand to possibly catch COVID? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Make sure you guys, if you have a thought about this, make sure you leave a comment down below because I love to know what your thoughts are. All right? All right, so today.
Yes. Who do we have?
Today we're going to be talking to Cha Bowens. Cha Bowens is one of the students who came through the program at DSDT. I think he took Tech 6, but I'm going to let him tell the story. I was speaking with a young man earlier, and he had some very insightfulness about the process he's gone through after the program that I wanted to make sure that he got in today on the conversation so that he could kind of enlighten those that will come after him. So without further ado, we want to bring on Mr. Cha Bowens.
What's going on, Shay? How's it going?
Great. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you for joining us, brother.
All right, it's great. It's great.
All right, so let's, as Carlos alluded to, let's get right into it. Shay, when did you attend DSDT?
April of this year, April 4th to be exact.
Okay. How did it come about? Well, let's talk about your background. What have you done prior, and what led you to DSDT?
So I'm active duty military. I knew that I was getting out the military sometime soon, but I didn't have a plan. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I talked to one of my friends in the Space Force, and he told me to go cybersecurity. So I kind of did my research with the whole transition of the military. I got in touch with Air Solutions. Air Solutions put me in contact with DSDT, and now I'm here.
And what are you studying again?
Cybersecurity.
Okay, so what are you looking to do with cybersecurity?
So since I don't have that much experience, I just start off from the bottom, as of like help desk.
And from April until now, just talk about the curriculum. Talk about what you've learned so far.
So the program that I was in was Tech 6, like you said. Each month it's a different CompTIA course. So the first month was Network Plus, the second month was Security Plus, and the third month was CISA Plus.
Oh, and describe those courses. What do they entail?
So networking is obviously how you. I can't really explain.
Networking. Networking is universal. Okay, tell me, like, as far as like cybersecurity, we're on this podcast right now.
Yeah.
What have you learned to protect our podcast from being hacked?
Well, I'm not that deep.
Okay. I'm kind of putting you on the spot. I get that. I get it. I like to ask those big questions from time to time.
I'm gonna come back to you later on.
All right, right on.
Yeah.
Hey, so listen, I like this guy, right?
Good man.
First of all, I like him because he was telling me about the process he went through. I was told, as I reached out to him, that we had gotten him placed. Okay, kudos, bravo. So when I speak to him, he's like, hold on, no, you guys didn't get me that job lead. I said, what? Hold on, stop.
Hey, wait a minute.
Right, because I always want people to have the truth. Right? Because sometimes we think just because we show up, we take a month-long program, 3 months, it's going to be Candyland. We're just going to take the program and automatically we're going to walk into an employment situation. And it doesn't happen like that for everyone. No. So Cha began to tell me what he was experiencing as he was going through the process. Cha, kind of enlighten him as to what your job hunting has been like since completing the program.
So I'll say before I started the program, I already had my CompTIA Security Plus. I got that certification in March of this year. Then the next month, I wrote into DSDT. Right after, I got that certification. I started applying to jobs because I thought since I already have my security plus and I have a secret clearance that I'll get a job just like that. That's not the case. Um, Most of these jobs want years of experience, even for entry level positions. So Miss Ashley Tancredi would send me job applications to fill out, and I would fill them out, and she would like, "Hey, send me the job that you fill out," and I would reach out to them. After months and months and months and months and months of doing it, staying up all night, I didn't get anything. It was so stressful. I was considering, was this the right decision? But I know deep down inside, that's what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to pursue a career in cybersecurity. I just know it was there. Even though I was getting denied jobs left and right, I knew one job was going to say yes sooner or later. So I was on LinkedIn and I came across this company called Apex Systems. And then they said they was having a job fair. So I sent a lady my email. I joined the job fair. And then originally I was just okay with just staying in like the Dallas, Texas area because I'm in Fort Hood, Texas right now. And I like Dallas because it's a beautiful area. So I was like, all right, cool. I might just apply to jobs in Dallas, Texas. So I was doing that, and nothing came up. Nothing. I had job interviews, and they was like, "Yeah, we're going to pursue other candidates." I was like, "Oh my gosh, what am I going to do?" So the beginning of this,
Shay, let me ask you right quick. So when you were told that, what did they give you anything as to why they were denying you, or
No.
Okay, so
Wait, no explanation?
no explanation.
so here's the thing, right? After I do something once, I begin to learn from it.
Absolutely. Learn
You
from
know,
your mistakes.
if I do it 10 times, by the 10th time,
You're hard
I'm
at it.
almost a professional at what I should be doing, or because I'm tweaking as I go along. So are you telling me that of the hypothetically 20 resumes that you put in, every time you had an interview, everything went the same way? There was nothing different?
And then I would talk to my friends because they're in cybersecurity as well, and they'll be like, "Bro, it's like that. You'll get a yes." And then I took that mentality. I was like, "All right, even though people keep saying no, there's a yes out here somewhere." So I would stay up all night, fill applications. No, 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 no. And then after I joined the job fair, I only went forward to apply to the Dallas, Texas area that Apex had, and there wasn't accepting nobody during that time. So the beginning of this month, I was like, all right, I don't know what to do. I called my grandmother. I was like, hey, I'm gonna fly you out here to help you drive my car back to Virginia, and I'm gonna just figure it out from there. And she was like, "What's wrong? Because you were so on to stay in Dallas, Texas." I was like, "It's stressful. I don't know what to do." And all she was like, told me was like, "You need to pray about it. Ask God to give you direction." Once I did that, the lady from Apex messaged me back, and she was like, "Hey, I have a job for you. We can do the interview tomorrow." Did the interview, got the job the same day.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, first of all, I gotta get grandma one of these. Drop a bomb for grandma.
And you know what you have to give for Shay here.
What are we gonna give him?
You already know.
You can. Say you get her, you can do it. You can
Yeah.
do it. I mean, I like that for the sense that you went up and beyond in order to manifest your destiny. You didn't wait for Ashley or Thandy. You literally didn't wait for anyone in order to make that happen,
Yeah.
right? So when are you slated to begin this new position?
August 1st.
August 1st.
Oh,
That's
Monday.
And that next week?
It's Monday.
So it was actually one of my goals to start working when I start my terminal leave. My terminal leave starts Thursday, and I start the job Monday.
Oh, man, listen. You can.
It's good if you get it once, but if you get it twice,
That's what's up,
saying.
man. Okay, so this whole time that you've been going through this process, what would you say to the person that's going to be kind of have the same mindset as you and don't have grandma to call?
You gotta be consistent. You gotta know what you want.
Okay, so
There's light at the end of the tunnel,
okay,
literally.
what would you say would be your top 3 tips for the individual that's coming after you that's going to feel as though they're going to get depressed, they're going to be anxious, they're going to have all those things going on because they have this vision in their minds and it's not coming fast enough? What would be your top 3 tips to help them along this path?
You gotta have goals. You gotta be confident, and you can't take no for an answer.
Wow. Goals, confident, and you can't take no for an answer.
Resilience.
Absolutely. So, the employer that you work with, this Apex, are they more of are they a IT solutions company, or
Yes.
what's the story behind them?
I'm not really big on the whole story. You're literally putting me on the spot. They're probably watching this. I don't know.
I mean,
But
you know where you're going to be going to work, don't you?
yeah. So they have different branches in different states.
Okay. Okay. So, but are you staying? You're going to be staying there in Texas, or are you going to be moving?
Colorado Springs.
You're moving to Colorado from Texas?
Wow, so you moved from Texas to Colorado Springs and you work in Detroit.
No,
No.
he's in Texas.
Oh, excuse me.
He's in Texas.
Okay.
Did I tell you we were international, Josh?
Yeah.
He's in Texas. He took DSDT. He
Hold
took our
on,
He's
course.
in Dallas. He's in Fort Worth.
In Fort Hood.
For Hood.
Fort
Fort
Hood.
Hood.
Okay.
I'm knowing somebody that listens around here. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You're having a bad day. I've been up since 2 a.m. Kind of mix it all in.
Yeah, it's all good.
That's good, man.
My apologies.
All right, so what's the next phase that happens after this? Now that you got the door open, what are you hoping will occur as a result?
To be honest, I really don't like to jump too much into that. I'm just taking everything day by day because it can change just like that.
Yeah.
Very true.
Shay, 5 years from now, what do you see yourself doing?
Now we're talking.
5 years from now.
5 years from now.
Like my goals, is it like top 3 goals or just
No, 5 years from now, where do you see yourself?
somewhere happy and content with my life?
Where do you see it?
You wasn't ready for that?
Happy and content with my life? Come on.
Yeah.
Professionally,
Yes.
career-wise, where do you see yourself?
So I'm still figuring out what I want to do as far if I want to go cybersecurity or jump more so into the cloud. But I'm probably going to jump more into the cloud. But I do like the Texas area, so I might come back down to Texas after Colorado.
Good for you. Good for you. The
Thank
one
you.
thing if I could impart anything on you, is that if you see yourself in XYZ in 5 years, start to start to make the building blocks from that point backwards, right?
Yeah.
One of the things you said as you were going through these interviews was that you lack the experience, right? So now you're getting the experience. When you take this job, it's not that it's for you to be there for the next 20 years. It's a building block, right? And once you get an opportunity like this, show up every day and show out. You know, and there's things that you're going to learn at this opportunity that you wouldn't have learned otherwise. They can't teach it in the classrooms. You know, so take this, learn from it, bolster your resume so that when the next opportunity presents itself, you're already ready for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Be ready so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, Shay, I want to say thank you for taking out a moment of your busy schedule today in order to come on and impart some of this wisdom. The part more so that, again, I liked about your story was the fact that everybody doesn't necessarily find it the easy way. The easy way is that you show up for the program, you get with Ashley and Thandy, they get you placed, whatever. But there's a lot of people who don't find it 1, 2, 3, ABC. So what do they do in order to get placed? We had, as I remember, Jonathan on here a while ago, and Jonathan works for a cybersecurity company out of Ann Arbor called Duo. And Jonathan said that in order to get an interview for himself, because he didn't have experience, he made a video. He made a video, sent it to the HR director, and they called him in for an interview based on the video. The video was explaining why his life had some of the trouble that it did and how he arrived on their doorstep. And they hired him as a result of that. And so it's individuals like yourself that I think time and time again learn to overcome, and you get exactly out of life what you want, as opposed to what life wants to deal you. Now, you're going to have a number of individuals that are going to show up and they're going to cry. They're going to cry, and it's going to be, woe is me. But at the end of the day, you definitely, sir, are far and in between. So congratulations. And again, I want to thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so
I want to address, before we go, I want to address this question by Paul Johnson. Pull up.
well, this is for our conversation earlier. It's not for.
Hey, no, it's not for Shay here, but before, and Shay, you don't have to time in, but pull it up.
Which one?
The second one.
You want the second one?
It's not that it's a significant part of the conversation, but you are curious. It's just a curiosity.
Would you have been shocked if it was a white woman? Is that for me or is that for the
I'm the one who asked. I was just curious, was she black or white?
Okay, so would you have been shocked?
I'm not saying I would have been shocked, but it's perspective.
Right.
It's curiosity. It's not significance. It's just curiosity, because you can kind of maybe get it doesn't make it an absolute. That was the intent behind her tone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's a curiosity, especially in today's world.
Yeah, it is.
So that's why I asked that question.
Okay.
And I just wanted to address it. That's all, brother.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, Shay, thank you. We appreciate you, and we definitely will be following up with you in the near future to see how things go, okay?
All right, thank you. Can I say one last thing?
No, sir. You definitely
Let him say one last thing.
I want to thank Ashley and DSDT, as well as my friend Kai and Eric, for pushing me along through this journey.
Wow. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Congratulations. We look forward to hearing great things about you and having you back on at a future date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Take care, my friend. That's what's up.
That is definitely
Josh,
what's
we got to
up.
pay some bills.
Yes,
I
sir.
feel like this is one of those episodes where we have to pay some bills and we have to come on back. Now you here? All right,
Let's get it.
let's do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Josh.
I'm Carlos, better known as Crypto Los.
This is the Tech School podcast powered by DSDT.
I just made up Crypto Los in case you didn't.
And that's exactly what this is. It's a great season. Season 4, we're back in the building, side by side.
If you haven't checked out the podcast, make sure that you go to it wherever you get your podcast from.
But in the meantime, see ya.
Hello, I'm Jason Stemmer. I served 5 years as a combat engineer in the United States Army. In the summer of 2019, I joined DSDT to learn advancing technologies in computer support, networking, cybersecurity, many valuable tools in digital media. DSDT is partnered with a lot of veteran-friendly employers, and with the help of DSDT's job placement assistance, I was able to quickly begin work in the IT field. I'm very pleased with this direction, as there is unlimited potential in the technology field, with no signs of growth or demand ever slowing. So come in for a visit, take a tour, and schedule a meeting with an advisor. DSDT really changed my life for the better, and it can change yours.
At a Detroit School for Digital Technology, we strive to provide students who are willing to learn new and exciting skill sets with a quality education in cutting-edge film technology to include recording in HD and 4K formats, drone videography, editing, and state-of-the-art color grading. Our instructors are friendly, knowledgeable industry professionals who are willing to teach. For more information, call us at 313-263-5400. 4200 or visit us on the web at dsdt.tech.
All right. Welcome back. Great conversation with Shay down in Texas. Brother right there doing his thing. For sure.
Yeah. All right, so this topic, and it's not really a topic, but just a quick conversation we're gonna have.
Okay.
So I read up on my good co-host here. Read up on you.
Oh, okay.
I read up on you. And I will be honest, I'm fascinated, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm fascinated with the fact of the father. The father aspect. Right now, and I know we don't get into it. Well, shit, I always do. I always tell something personal about me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you guys really should know us. I think personally, it helps the show to continue to move.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up without a father.
Yeah.
You know, grew up without a father. Seen my dad 3 times. The last time he was in a coffin looking just like me with a big, thick beard. He died at 23 years old from a heart attack.
Wow.
You know? And so as I was reading up on Josh, it kind of took me aback of how you grew up as well, because I never knew that. And I wonder, are there many people like us, and I say it like us from this perspective. I have never once in my life ever thought, where's my dad? I've never once in my life thought, I wish my dad was here to throw me a football, or I wish my dad was here to save me from blah, blah. I never thought that. I never have ever thought like that. Did you ever have a perspective like that?
As a child, I did. There were certain parts about me I was trying to figure out as a teenager, as a young man in his early 20s, that I think I may have gotten those answers better or quicker had my father been more prevalent in my life. Absolutely. I mean, I eventually figured out who I am as a man, where I stand, where I'm headed, what my point of view is. I definitely got there. But there were moments where it's like, if he had been around, maybe I would just have that answer a lot quicker.
See, that's the
profound.
educated Josh. I never thought like that. I never thought like that, man.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I often hear,
Like, why do I think the way I think about something? Why am I doing something a certain way? Because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
I agree 1,000%.
So by having both parents, you can, like with my mom, she and I are very similar. So things I do, I know where I got it from her on that end. With my father, it was like, okay, it's more so piecing it together versus knowing for sure. Yeah, I got that from him. Yeah, I got that from her. And that just helps you build your character, who you are as a man or woman.
I've never, ever thought like that, Josh. I never have, you know, and I don't know, man. Maybe it's me. You know what I'm saying? So I have this thing that I like to think, and I don't even know if I can term it right and say it in the right way. I've never thought about the father being absent. People, I don't care what your stature is, doesn't make me feel less than. You know, I don't have those issues, or I don't even know. I don't want to term it issues, but I just don't have those thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, and I have, like I said, 4 sisters, and of the 4 sisters, I've noticed at times where that has been of issue.
With that being said, there does come a point where you're an adult.
Absolutely.
You know, everything I just laid out, that is something as a child, as someone 22, 23 years old, not a man who's 38 years old.
Right.
You know, you definitely have to reach a point where you're a grown man, you're a grown woman, despite, okay, you weren't close with your father or your mother, etc. You definitely have to make peace with that at some point, because if you don't make peace with it, then you're going to be living in your own turmoil forever, and you won't be able to flourish as a human being.
I agree 100%. So the question would become then, do you believe and I'm going to say it for what it is. Y'all know me. Do you believe a woman can raise a man?
Yes.
He didn't
Yes.
hesitate. Y'all see that? He
Without
didn't even hesitate.
without hesitation, because my mother raised me.
I knew he was going to say it.
Because my mother raised me, my sister and I, by her darn self. And for reasons I won't go into, my mother is stronger than a lot of people realize. She comes across as this soft-spoken woman of God, which she is, but she has been through a lot in her lifetime, and she still maintains her faith, her calmness, her warmth, and a lot of people in this world would not do the same. And it's just something between her and I that I maintain out of love and respect for my mother. But she raised me on her own, and I would like to think I'm a half-decent guy. I think
We're still out on that.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying.
The jury is still out on that. But nevertheless, no. In all seriousness, yes, I do. I think a woman can raise a man. And look, because that's how I was raised by a woman, a single mother. So that's my perspective. Now, for the opposite side, for the opposition, or someone who wants to debate that topic, I would meet them halfway by saying, if you don't think a woman can fully raise a man, if you feel that way, at the very least, a strong woman, a good woman, can show her son the pathway to becoming a good man. But it will be ultimately that man's decision on whether or not to become a real man.
I believe that. Because I was raised by my grandma. So you guys,
Well, I mean,
y'all go figure it out.
Yeah.
Y'all go figure it out.
So,
Well, I was raised by my grandmother, and I had a lot of uncles that had influence on me.
and my Uncle Jimmy,
know?
may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
He Pops, we called him Pops. He was that uncle. You call him on the side of the road, give me a minute. I'll be there.
Yep.
I have older cousins, male cousins, who are influential. So definitely male influence within my family, for sure. So, okay, sprinkle in, you have a good mother, a good grandmother as a foundation. And then, you have good uncles and older cousins. You just sprinkle in that male influence as well.
Yeah, I agree. And so I'm thinking, as you're saying all this, would I have wanted it any different? Would I have wanted my father around? Would I have wanted him there to do X, Y, and Z? And I can tell you 100% no. Because I don't want nobody else trying to tell me what to do. I'm just saying. I'm good.
For me, the answer is yes.
Okay.
But I have no regrets. I have no I just hate that didn't happen. It's just certain insecurities as a child, I think I may have conquered sooner. So that's for me, because again, I would have maybe gotten those answers from him versus figuring it out 5 years down the line. And I just have, I have certain male friends who are fortunate to have that male figure, that father figure in their life consistently. And so they just, we're still equally men, but I just know okay, yeah, your father, he gave you good perspective as a child, as a teenager.
Yeah,
And it just helped them navigate through their lives a little smoother in certain situations.
Yeah, I get it. See, I have myself 5 children, and I think not having a father around, I screwed up a lot early on in not having that role model to imitate. And so now in my latter years, I find myself, making a lot of choices that I otherwise wouldn't have made because I know that I was at fault so much when I was younger. In other words, I'm trying to overcompensate, going out of my way in order to show that I love, and I'm here for you, where I didn't have that when I was younger. I also see grandfather status. I see that as being a next chapter, and I see it as being more of an opportunity to be a better version of myself than even when I was a kid father.
And your children would
Yeah,
head over for that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, and I keep them.
Because, I mean, what better than looking after them than looking after their children?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, but hold on now. Nobody's going to be watching nobody else's kids. I'm just saying. Drop a bomb for nobody else's kids. I'm just drop a bomb for nobody else's kids. But I just wanted to bring that up for a quick second, you know, because I don't think that we get enough into who we are, why we're here doing this. And I know it should be about technology all the times, but again, we're here to educate our community. You know, there's so many things that are going on around us, and I would be remiss if I simply just showed up every week and we talked about Bitcoin and the metaverse and technology. No, we're not going to do that. If that's what you're looking for, then I'm sure there's 1,000 other podcasts out there. But we want to make sure that we're giving you exactly what you need as we feel as though it's been placed on our hearts to do it.
Amen.
You know, hold on. Again, y'all know he's a bishop. Y'all know he's a bishop. And he just told you that his mom was heavy into church, right? So you know now where he get his bishop. Speaking of bishops, I got to say this before we go.
Okay.
Did you see the bishop that got robbed at church last night?
No.
You guys did not. Y'all going to make me do some work, and I didn't even mean to do this.
Pull it up. Let's see. Let's see what we got.
I got to pull this up. And I don't know if it was here. I got to pull this up. And I want you guys.
I don't recall us talking about that this morning.
We pulling up breaking news here, y'all.
Yeah.
Let me show y'all this here. All right, let's see. Okay. Of course, Brooklyn pastor says he and his wife were robbed of more than $1 million in jewelry while preaching. And this is on CNN. And this was actually during service. And I thought to myself,
wait a minute. So someone came inside a church and robbed the pastor at the podium? Yeah, do we have audio? Okay, yeah.
It's commercial.
Yeah.
So I want to let us run through this commercial right quick. Everybody give a big round of applause to Progressive. My insurance company, I'm just saying, they need to start sponsoring some of these shows.
Hey, now we're talking. Giving them a little love right here. A little free advertisement.
So
about to go through. Yo.
Look at this.
Wow.
And when I see them come into the sanctuary with their guns, I told everybody, get out. Everybody just get out. Right? Everybody get out. I didn't know if they wanted to shoot the church up or if they were just coming for a robbery. Took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop's chain, and then I had chains underneath my robe. And he started tapping my neck to see if anything else. So that means they knew. They watched and they knew.
They've been there before.
The jury. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, why are you so flashy? It's not about me being flashy. It's about me purchasing what I want to purchase. And it's you know, it's my prerogative.
Yeah, he's right.
So
is it quote unquote traditional for a pastor to wear, you know, a significant amount of jewelry? Probably not, but he has the right to be who he is.
That's right.
And he has the right to feel comfortable being who he is.
That's right. That's right. But again, we are at a day and age to where you now have men of God in their house of worship
being violated.
Come on now. Is that where we are? Is that where we are?
I would like to say the answer is no, but
Yeah. So I just want to shed some light on what's going on else in the world besides the technology pieces that we speak on. That kind of, touched me a little bit this morning as I watched and saw what was happening. I'm not the guy that shows up to church every Sunday. I'll be the first one to tell you, but I am also the guy that cannot condone that in one way or the other, right? So for all you guys that are prayer warriors, and I know that we got quite a few that watch the show, make sure you're saying a prayer for the pastor, the bishop, not a pastor, the bishop. A bishop that's equal in stature to Josh. I'm just saying.
we're all equal, brother. We're all equal.
Bishop. All right, Josh. Take us on into the segue, man.
Yes, my friend Carlos. Hey, we will get back to technology next week. And as Carlos alluded to, we're going to be talking much more tech. But yeah, we're going to start incorporating real everyday conversations as well. It's flowing naturally, and I think you guys will enjoy it. It's real. That's what it really comes down to. But in the meantime, that will do it for the Tech School podcast powered by DSDT. For Carlos, I'm Josh. Here we go. See ya.